Well, another year is coming to a close for ARK Survival, and I can't even believe we're moving into our 11th year of the game, which is just absolutely crazy. And if you want to know what is coming in 2026 so far, I have done a full video explaining everything you guys need to know for 2026. I uploaded it 2 days ago, but in today's video, Studio Wildcard have done their final post of 2025, and we are going to be going through this together and looking in at what a crazy year we have had for ARK. Lots of ups and downs. You guys can let me know what your favorite, and that's what we're gonna say is the comment section. What was your favorite, worst, well, favorite, what am I saying? Worst and favorite. Why is it not, what's favorite and worst? Why is this not ringing in my head? But in the comment section down below of your year of ARK in 2025. You might not have even played ARK in 2025, but you guys can let me know. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe, come and join us in the LoadedCrysis cluster for free service and an amazing community. Almost going to reach 7,000 members, which is crazy stuff. So thank you guys for that, and let's get in with the video. So, ARK 2025 content year in review. So, ARK 2025 content year in review. 2025 was a huge year for ARK Survival Ascended. From epic new maps to creatures inspired by the community and massive expansions, players got to explore, tame and battle like never before. This post rounds up some of the highlights, some coming straight from Wildcard and others brought to life by the community's creativity. So we're going to get straight in with things. Now, as I always explain in my 2026 video, January is a very dead month for the game. That could be different this year, but I don't think so. I think February is normally when it cooks up, and it's because we do have Survival of the Fittest return in Q1, but I just don't see it being January. So Power Rangers Wave 2 launched on the 7th of February 2025. Why does that feel like it was... Why does that feel like it was actually more recent? I don't know why, but yeah. What was your thought on this? When this was first announced, I was pretty disappointed. I did get a little bit of... I got a little bit of negative feedback from you guys. Some people agreed, but I personally, there was such a big reveal for me, such a small release. Like, it was a cosmetic pack. Now, what I do think this is pushed the wave for, which I do like, and I will have respect for the Power Rangers cosmetic pack, is it pushed a new wave to now where we might be getting a How to Train Your Dragon DLC in Q4 2026. So I have to give a shout out because this started it all. But yeah. Astraeus launched February 13th, 2025. A grand mythic journey begun. Nakatus had his first ever partner DLC and the first ever official partner DLC to come to ARK in its history. And it was amazing. It is one of the best maps in ARK history. I know some people may not agree with that, but I feel like a lot of evolved players that never moved over or have never played Ascended, this map would have absolutely, for me, been the most favourite map on Evolved. Unfortunately, I don't think it would have been possible to be released on Evolved because the technology just wouldn't have been good enough to have such a massive map. But this map is so good, and it's got everything you want. It's got a bit of everything. And running in my cluster, I always notice what maps are doing well and what maps aren't doing well. And sort of an idea of a map that isn't doing well is Aberration. Aberration, it was kind of like that anyway back in the day, but Aberration's doing pretty bad. But and has done since the launch. But maps like Astraeus, The Island, Ragnarok, you know, the center's up there a bit, but it can be quite dead. Those maps always, Astraeus it never beats Ragnarok, but it's always really up there. And I have to say it's been an amazing map. March 26th, 2025 brought the release of the ARK animated series costume packs, which added 109 vibrant costumes inspired by the animated series to ARK, and the release of the Danarithium, which was the creation by Garuga, and yeah, pretty cool. I think it's been a good addition to the game. I've enjoyed it being in the game. The animated series cosmetic pack we were going through a bad time in ARK. And I can't remember the reason why, but then you know what? It's been so long, but then they announced that this pack was releasing, and it was going to cost like £15, and everyone was like, or $15, and everyone was like, what on earth? But then people were saying actually with 109 costumes is pretty good value, but I guess that's up to you guys to decide. Meow. As you know, on the 1st of April, which everyone thought was an April Fool's, they let the cat out of the bag. Whether you see cats as unpredictable little goblins or as fuzzy little fiends, no one is surprised that they have survived and thrived beyond the end of the world, and maybe what's more surprising is that survivors still want to tame them after all. And as always, that was the cat climbing over Dolly's keyboard. Very, very strange update. Very, very weird kind of point for ARK. It's like we just had Astraeus and then the cat launched out of absolute nowhere and people thought it was April Fool's. But then we had it. We had Ragnarok Ascended and the Unreal Engine 5.5 upgrade. Ragnarok returned to ARK Survival Ascended, and I believe Ragnarok single-handedly saved the game. I'm not saying ARK ever dies, and I don't think ARK is a game that could ever die. As long as the devs are around and are releasing content, I don't really see the game, because it's just so good and the unofficial community is so strong. That's what keeps ARK alive. Ragnarok did that. Ragnarok brought so many players back to the game and still kept a lot of players playing. Also, technical milestones, Unreal Engine 5.5 brought improved performance, stability, and visual fidelity. We also added optional map downloads to save space and introduce features like single-player backups, performance-focused graphics settings, and looking ahead, Unreal Engine 5.7 is planned for early 2026. Targets further in frame rate and rendering improvements, particularly in dense foliage and high activity areas, and players can expect smoother performance, denser environments, and the foundation for exciting new content across ARK Survival Ascended. And of course, they released the Bison for Ragnarok, which was very, very cool. Alongside Ragnarok was the launch of the Lost Colony expansion pass. The Lost Colony expansion pass to me seemed a little bit like Wildcard, as they hadn't really released a lot of paid stuff because they had Bob's Tall Tales. They kind of needed to get some of those extra funds in a little bit early. Not saying that it was a bad thing. Because there is so much content with Lost Colony, I feel like the addition of some of the creatures early, I don't think was bad at all. And I don't think there's anything wrong with releasing expansion, like an expansion pass kind of a bit earlier on, because they didn't really have anything else. This year was full of kind of free stuff. Astraeus was a partner DLC, so that doesn't go all to Wildcard. Some of it goes to Nakatus and I think maybe Nitrado. I'm not too sure how their deal worked there. But I really enjoyed it, and it was definitely a surprise when this launched. Then, after all of this, the Helicopterion officially launched August 29th, 2025, and a community creativity made official. The iconic shark, the Helicopterion, surfaces a free, official integrated tame originating from the ARK Editions mod by Garuga, and Garuga has had many creatures, such as the Cryolophosaurus, enter the game. Then, October 7th, 2025. This for me, and I could be wrong, but this for me was not the best. I love Valguero, right? I didn't play it. It was my least. I've done a voting of my favorite maps years ago. Like I'm talking like 8 years ago. It might not be that long. Like, very long time ago. And Valguero always came at the bottom of the list, and there was just something for me that never was enough about Valguero. And I'm sorry to those Valguero lovers out there, and I did have a lot of fun with the Ascended version, and I really have enjoyed the Ascended version. I still have performance issues with the Valguero Ascended map, and I don't have a home map over there, but people do enjoy it, and I know a lot of people play it over on the LoadedCrysis cluster. And the Megaraptor launched. The Elder Claw launched, and overall, I think it was a good DLC. It didn't do very well in numbers-wise, but that's because it didn't really have that much promotion behind it. So I feel like Valguero kind of as much as it was awesome, I do feel like it deserved a little bit more love than it truly got. But that's my opinion. October 31st, 2025, ARK x Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This was the Halloween update, which launched with Fear Ascended, and they brought the next collaboration for ARK Survival into the realms, which was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and many, many more to be coming up, as I mentioned, such as this potential entire How to Train Your Dragon DLC. It's not confirmed at this moment in time. There's nothing confirmed like that. We don't even know if it's How to Train Your Dragon, but people have been breaking it down, and it really, all directions link towards it. You know, it kind of feels like it would be copyright from the logo if it's not How to Train Your Dragon. And of course, it's called Dragantopia, which is coming next year, Q4 2026. But this was really cool. It was nice to see your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles enter the game, and for me, this was the better one. Other than, I didn't really enjoy the Power Rangers one. I've mentioned that so many times, but I really like Ninja Turtles. So great addition there. As we scroll down to the bottom, you know, the Lost Colony full release came December 19th, 2025, the first massive canonical expansion. A few delays involved with that, of course, but obviously Lost Colony bridges the gap between Extinction and ARK 2 with a story-driven world, powerful skill trees, cursed tier. You don't even need me to read it to you. I know so many of you are playing the Lost Colony map. It's already been out 11 days, but it's been 11 days of fun. Some issues that have been getting fixed over time. But yeah, that is an interesting year to look back on for ARK. So Wildcard gave us a little bit of a message, and they said, "Thank you, survivors, for exploring every corner, taming every creature, and sharing the journey. Here's to an even wilder 2026. Happy New Year, everyone, Studio Wildcard." So, out of 10, guys, I've asked you what your favourite and worst moment of 2025 was regarding ARK. But out of 10, how would you rate 2025? There's mixed comments below saying their thoughts and feelings on it. If I were to give my ARK 2025 review, I would give it a 7.5. Potentially a 7. A little bit harsher, and maybe I would give them the 7.5. These cosmetic packs are cool, and I think they've got a future in ARK. I just think they were hyped up a little bit too much. I thought Asterisk was a fantastic new opportunity for creators to bring their creation into the official game and not just have Wildcard's ambition. You know, the community that have been here and seen things that they might want different with the game, and I thought Asterisk will forever be even a chance that it could push the year up to an 8. More costume packs, some more Garuga creatures are pretty cool. The cat was actually a very funny new addition. Ragnarok kind of changed the game, as I mentioned, so that again is the huge heart of 2025. And then obviously the new expansion pass, the helicopter room was added in, Valguero launched, and then of course Ninja Turtles and Lost Colony. So I think I'm gonna stick with my set. It's hard to put a nail on what I fully want as my answer, but 7 to 7.5 I think will sum up 2025 for ARK. They've got a huge year ahead with so much planned. Bob's True Tales, Pirate DLC, ARK World Creator. They're testing the waters with so much new stuff, and I think what would put the icing on the cake is if Fjorda Ascended does end up still launching in December at the end of the year. So for me, I'm potentially seeing an 8.8 out of 10 for next year. This year they're still finding their feet. We've had some terrible years I would give the first year of, I mean, actually the Bob's Tall Tales was really good. The Bob's Tall Tales was really good, so that did push up the first year of Ascended. But they've had 2 warm-up years, and 2026 needs to be the big time. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'm looking forward to reading the comments on this one.